Hi friends, we are going to talk about a topic today that could be sensitive or considered controversial. I don't consider it controversial. I love psychology and I am just expressing my personal opinion and experience. I want to make it clear that I am not a mental health professional. If you find yourself in any situation where you need mental help, please get help from a professional. I'm just a chick on YouTube that likes planning. And I talk a little bit about the autism spectrum in this video, just my own personal thoughts about it and experience with it. I am by no means using that term negatively. I definitely love learning about psychology and how everyone is different, thinks differently, and is special and unique so that I can relate to that person more and communicate better with them. So, and to understand myself a bit better. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Hi friends. We are here planning in my Hobonichi on rings. I have a strange habit. There's something that happens in my mind when I get overly tired or anxious that tells me like, hey, you should change your whole planning system. I don't know what it is. Last night I came down here and I set up a whole Erin Condren on coil bound. Now, some of y'all will say, might say, oh my gosh, it's so cute and you should use it and it looks great, and it does look great. But we're going to talk about part of why I do so much planner hopping, because I had an aha moment last night. Now this one, I'm just smelling it. I still kind of want to jump back to this one, but I know it won't last. So let's just plan in here. Let's see. Let's use this kit here. Molly Loves Literature. Because it's so cute. I love the Molly in Wonderland. The Molly of Green Gables, Romeo and Juliet. These are so funny. I'm trying to get into May so that when I return from this weekend, I'm going to be doing a lot of Go Wild prep, not planning. And then when I return, I want to have these pages already prepped so I can jump into them. Yeah, I really don't get myself. Let me see if I have some different washi that I want to go with this spread. I mean, I think the lemons actually would look pretty cute, but it's a different kind of yellow. The clouds are cute, but it's kind of not the right color. So, let me see what else I got. Oh, this might be good. These orange flowers. Yeah. Okay. Those will be good. And I also have these blue clouds. Like, could be good for that one if I end up going for that box. Oh my. Hey. So, I need to just make a new rule for myself. If I'm super tired, I'm not allowed to make planner decisions, because I spent so much time and stickers and energy doing that just to wake up and say to myself, that was silly. I should just stay in my same one. Which you guys are like, duh, we knew it was silly. I also have this, which might be cute. This is a Clever Clove reading one. I don't know. As you can tell, I'm not that stuck on that one. Ooh, I think I found the perfect one. This is from Root and Branch. They're out of Nashville. It's a small shop, but I purchased them at Little Craft Place because they carry their brand. But look how cute this is with all of them. Let's go for this. I so rarely have a chance to use this washi. So I think we're gonna do that. Let's set up these pages. Anyway, do y'all have any weird things that happen in your brain whenever you're super tired or anxious. I'm still super tired this morning. Luckily, I only have one work meeting, and then I'm going to the doctor, and then I'm gonna try to take a nap. Before I have to go get Emma and make casserole for dinner. I don't know why I promised that I was going to cook and do the dishes today, knowing that I had this doctor's appointment. It's pretty dumb. But like I said, wasn't thinking straight yesterday. Man. Anywho, Starbucks to the rescue. Hopefully it's gonna wake me up. Root and Branch has some really unique washies if y'all do check them out. But of course, Itty Bitty Sticker Co. has other ones that could match this spread better. I just don't have them. So maybe I should rectify that. Let's see here. Okay. So this is Sunday and Monday. That's perfect because those are reading days if I do say so. Let's put this here. Also, with my planner hopping, I have a sensory type thing, and it's worse whenever I'm tired. So if I'm super tired, I tend to be very, very aware of like how the paper feels. I like the smoother the paper, the better. I think that's why I keep coming back to Hobonichi. How it feels when I flip through the pages, how it feels in my hand. That's why I have a hard time sticking to this ring system, even though my eyes love it. What I love the most are these cloth covers. I love the feel of them. And the way these pages just, you know, oh, there's something about it. So you're probably thinking, so why don't you just stick in that? Because I'm loony. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We're gonna use, as I mentioned, Molly in Wonderland and the Wonderful Wizard of Paws. Yeah. I love it. The Three Floofketeers. This one's Little Women, but it says Little Kittens. These are so flipping cute. This was an older kit in the shop, but I love it. This washi is kind of taking over and making my eyes like, I don't know if I agree with my decision about this washi. In fact, I know I don't because I'm already feeling very overwhelmed looking at it. Some of y'all might say to yourself, it looked fine. But as I said, when I'm super tired, my sensory side says like, whoa, and gets overloaded very easily. So that is why I'm often like so picky about things whenever I'm feeling anxious or tired. And depending on my level of anxiety and exhaustion, it gets worse. I don't know if I've ever realized that that was my issue or been able to verbalize it in such a way, but that is how I feel. Let's see. Maybe we could do this, like Molly's dreaming about being in books. I think that's adorable. Even though the colors aren't perfect, it just kind of more like tells a story. So anyway, that's the issue with my planner hopping. Although some things are very appealing to my eye and call me to them and make me want to use them. Like my Erin Condren Daily Duo. Let's take that one for example. I used that for many years, but I had not at that point discovered Tomoe River paper. So Erin Condren used to be my favorite paper. And I also didn't use fountain pens back then. So I was more than happy to use like my Tool Point 7, which is my favorite pen on that paper because it glides over the paper better without feeling scratchy with the toothiness of the paper. So now that I've discovered Tomoe River paper planners, there's something that when I'm setting up the Erin Condren planner, I kind of forget. My eyes kind of take over and I'm like, ooh, this is so cute. I love it. And I do love the feel of it in my hand and the coil bound and like the weight of the planner and all of that. But the part that I always forget about until after I've already set up the whole dang thing, I do not like the way my current favorite pens write or feel on that paper. And I don't want to give up my pens because I've spent a lot of money on those. So then I run back to Midori or Hobonichi. Those are my two favorite papers. And even on a very bad anxiety day where I'm super mentally and physically exhausted, I love these papers and how they feel and how they look. So I do need to learn my lesson and stop buying Erin Condren planners because my eye loves them. Because it just doesn't make sense. Okay, I put that date cover way over there. So anyway, let me know in the comments, do y'all identify with any sensory issues? You'll also notice I wear a lot of repeat clothing and shoes if you know me in person. And that is also because of like sensory things. And I didn't used to be that aware that I was like that until my daughter was born. And I saw it in her and I'm like, where does she get that? And then my hubby's like, you're kidding me. It's from you. So I'm here to tell y'all right now, these are the two planners that I'm going to be sticking in. I love my A6. I love the feel of these cloth planners covers and being able to change them out. I love how these pages flip, sound, feel, everything. And when I go wild, this is the planner you're going to see me with. I'll bring this just to show Brandy and I'll leave it in my room. But to be honest, I'm mainly still using them because I already bought the covers. And why am I going to let these beautiful covers go to waste? Let's put Sunday starting at 9. I have a feeling that we are going to go to church because I'm not going to be home the next weekend. But let's see how John feels. We didn't go last week because we just wanted to rest. I think I've told y'all several times, I am Christian, but I'm not one that thinks like you absolutely have to go to church. I really believe in a personal relationship with God, and let's see. The main reason that we went back to church was Emma, because it was very hard for me as a person who became Christian at a very young age to explain to Emma everything. I don't know, in like a way that a child can understand it. I always just felt very called and wanted to go to church and all that, even though my parents didn't attend. So I feel like she's having a similar experience, and I don't want to take that away from her. Because I had to work very hard as a child to be able to go to church. Let's put some boxes down and to-do lists. Whenever I was a kid, my parents were divorced. We would visit my dad and grandparents every 2 weeks. My dad, a lot of times, lived with my grandparents. And with them, we would go to church. That was when I was older, like probably middle school, high school. Yeah, definitely 12 and over. That was the situation there. And so I was officially a member of the Methodist Church. I was baptized Methodist. But before that, when my parents were still married, they did not go to church. We lived in a trailer park at that time, and the van and bus would come around and pick up people to go to church. And I, being 3 years old, would get up, put my little dress on, and tell my mom that I was going to church with a neighbor. She would be like, okay, because she knew the neighbors. And so I did that for several years. I had some years where I wasn't going to church at all, probably from when I was 5 to 10, 11 in there. I wasn't going to church except for Vacation Bible School when I would go visit my grandparents. In the summers, for like a month, they would send us to Vacation Bible School. So I became a Christian when I was 6 at Vacation Bible School. I still have my little Bible from a tiny, tiny church. And on the inside, it has my name and it says Vacation Bible School. And it's like a little New Testament. And I still have it, and I still remember that that is the year that I accepted Jesus. And Emma and Brayden are both Christian as well. They identify with the faith. Emma likes to attend church more than Brayden, and that's okay. Emma really loves the just activities in the Sunday school and the lessons. And like I said, it's just easier for, I don't want to even say easier. I just don't want to take away the ways in which she wants to have fellowship or worship. So I do love the praise and worship music and the message at our church though. So there's that. I don't do like any small group Bible studies or anything. Let's see here. Let's put the orange over there, the green over there. How cute is this? So yeah, I have I guess a different story when it comes to religion. When I would be at home with my mom, she didn't go to church. But she didn't also care if I wanted to go to different churches with friends. She would just be like, okay, what church is it? What friend is it? And some of the churches I liked better than others. I liked most the Methodist church that I went to when I was visiting every other weekend, my grandparents. But when I was in town in like a Dallas suburb, I mostly enjoyed the youth activities and the sermon and the worship music at Bible church. It was a pretty large Bible church. And I continued in those type of churches in college as well, and got pretty involved in like the different youth groups and things that are available. And like Campus Crusade and things like that. So, that's that. But as I got older, I just didn't feel the need to continue going to service every week until Emma started asking about it. So, okay, let's do our journaling lines. This is cute, right? I hate taking the pages out to do stuff on because it makes me not want to use it because it feels different when you feel one page in your hand versus the book. So I have to do it like really quickly. I like the crinkly sound though. I do think for people that have like sensory preferences, I prefer to not call it issues because it's really not an issue. It's just like how I am. And it's not a problem that I'm looking to solve, but I have a lot of sensory preferences. That's how I would like to phrase it. For For people that have different sensory preferences, I think you know what I'm talking about. Other people might just be like, what the heck, you're a weirdo, and that's okay. I am a weirdo, but not because of this. So yeah, let's see, we got the 28th. Let me get some dates. 28th and 29th. Let's do one more spread on the back for the 30th. So anyway, thank you all for listening. I just wanted to kind of, since I had like an aha moment and I felt like I was finally able to verbalize why. Oh my gosh, look at this. Like why I tend to planner hop strangely. That I would try to explain. You may not fully understand, but at least you have some idea of why I'm flopping, and sometimes like so often. Okay, on this one I want to do little kittens. Oh, Romeo and Juliet. This one's just too good. I want to do Romeo and Juliet, and I want to use this washi with it, the kind of neutral, peachy, peaking Molly. So anyway, let me know if you identify with any different sensory things. You know, also, sensory processing disorder is a thing, but it's not really fully recognized as a psychological disease, and I think I understand why. I used to wonder why, and I would be like, they should acknowledge that. People have that, but I fully understand now that the reason why they don't classify it as a disease, because there's such a spectrum of people's preferences that I think unless these preferences really affect your everyday life, to some degree of like compulsion or autism or something like that, that's why they just classify it as a symptom of other disorders. I don't even want to say disease, disorders. So like if someone is on the autism spectrum, most likely they have the symptom of sensory processing disorder. Because most of the time their preferences, they're more than preferences, you know, they're like, they absolutely can't listen to normal voices, or they might have a meltdown, you know, like in a crowded room, things like that. I can get sensory overload in those type of situations, but I'm pretty good at blocking noises out before I get to that point. My daughter is much more sensitive to noises and light. She is not on the spectrum that I know. She has only been diagnosed with generalized anxiety and selective mutism, so she'll like freeze. Her response to anxiety is to freeze. That's basically what that means. It's a subset of generalized anxiety where when you get so overwhelmed, you just freeze up and clam up and don't speak. She doesn't deal with it as much as she used to, but it is still a thing, especially in a new environment. So like at the beginning of the school year, it was more of a thing in her class. I'm very thankful that her teacher is a first-time teacher and her actual degree was in psychology, because she understood more than most teachers to like not push her to speak until she warmed up and until she was ready to do so. And so we have had her see a specialist when she was younger, and she does have an actual diagnosis of generalized anxiety and selective mutism. And we have tips from the psychiatrist that we used at home, and then we also give to her various like daycares back in the day and now teachers to make sure that it doesn't get worse and that she has time to warm up, because that's basically all she needs. Once she gets comfortable, then she'll start speaking normally. But the reason that she kind of freezes is she doesn't like to call attention to herself, like, until she feels comfortable with people. She doesn't want them, like, looking at her or anything. And I'm okay with that. So long as she's doing well in school and she starts warming up and she'll ask for help when she needs it in school, I'm okay with it. Also at school, it's not really a big deal because they prefer the kids to be quiet and they use a lot of hand signals, like I gotta go to the bathroom or I gotta go to the library. So yeah, it's not that big of a deal. What little stickers do I want to use on the side with the literature? Okay, these will be really cute with the Molly in Wonderland. So anyway, thank y'all for listening to like my mental health type chit chat. The other thing with Emma is she really dislikes going to the movies. She does not like the flashing lights of it. She doesn't like the loud noises, which is easier to control with like headphones or something. And she doesn't like just like so many people being in a theater, and also just sitting still for that long. It's kind of hard for her still, but all in all, we don't go to the movies. She's been a few times, and every time, even though we brought like headphones or what do you call it? Really? Earplugs? We still didn't last the whole movie. She just doesn't like it, and that's okay. So we just watch movies at home. So if you notice, we have a lot of like family movie nights and we're at home, that's why. But I also tell Emma that what she has is pretty normal. A lot of people have anxiety. A lot of people have different sensory preferences, and she is not to the point that it affects her everyday life to where like she can't go to school or she needs like an IEP or anything. It's not like that. It's just something for her teachers to know and be aware of. And as she's gotten older, it's very easily managed. Because now she can tell me, like, I used to think that she was really scared of like air vents in the ceiling, but now I know that she's older. She wasn't scared of them. She could actually hear the air going in and out a lot louder than most people, and she hated the noise. But when she was little, like 2, 3, she spoke a little bit late because selective mutism. Anyway, that was a whole other thing. But so she would just like, we would go to like Target or Walmart, and she would like just point to those vents and be hysterical. And I would just think she was scared of them or think they were gonna like suck her up or something. But no, she hated the noise of them. And now that she's older, it seems like she's less sensitive to things like that as far as noises go. So anyway, like this right now, I love hearing the sound of making these lines. But that's more of a preference. That's not like I can't function in society without making those lines. You know what I mean? So I think I understand why psychiatrists classify things as on a spectrum, and why, although there are certain common symptoms, they could still present differently for every person. So anyway, I also watch that cleaning channel I told y'all about sometimes, Midwest Magic, and the channel owner, and he owns a cleaning business. He is on the autistic spectrum, and he talks about these issues a lot, and like people in his videos will say, you know, you should be wearing gloves, and he talks about like how he hates the feeling of gloves. He will if he absolutely has to, like for a biohazard, but like for the most part, he's like, I'll just wash my hands a million times, hand sanitizer, I hate gloves. Things like that. And like people don't get why he says his hobby is cleaning, in the same way that people don't get when I say my hobby is planning. So yeah, these different things, I just think it's very interesting how they transfer over in different people's lives. So I just thought I would share that today, because maybe it might help you have an aha moment, or you might still be like, Kelly, that's weird, that's strange. That's fine. A lot of people view me as weird and strange, and I'm okay with that. But it's actually pretty normal. People just don't tend to label it unless it's a little bit more extreme. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and that the chit chat was, I know, is a little bit different today, but maybe it was insightful. intriguing or helpful to you in some way, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.